what's going on? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. The podcast is inspiring young rock and metal fans to discover new music and find a place to feel like they can connect and to be accepted. That's what we're all about here on the Chord Progression Podcast. So welcome to the show. It is our first episode of June, and let me tell you this. We are starting this month off with a literal bang for a band that had been gone for 10 years. 10 years. Came back, and they are happier than ever that they're back. Who could it be? I don't know. I can't think of it. Oh, woe is me. I can't think of it. That's who it is. Before we jump into this, I want to thank support for this podcast, which comes from Phoenix Fitness. So you guys know what are my two favorite things to do in the world. One is this podcast. The second thing is go to concerts and be in those mosh pits, baby. So you know I want to have that goal in those mosh pits of being in the beginning of the pit for the opening band, and then not leaving the pit until the headliner is done and delivering those hits in between, be able to take those hits because some of those dudes are big. They will mess you up. I do not want to get messed up too bad. Hi, Nate. I had to throw your name out there, bud. So I got to make sure I stay what I call mosh pit fit. So I'm in the gym consistently, working out a lot, lifting a lot, doing a lot of cardio work. But one of the important things I need to make sure I continue to do is prepare right and help my body recover right so I can do this in a day in and day out basis and continue to get the best results I need for my fitness goals of being mosh pit fit. So how do you help achieve your fitness goals like this? That's where Phoenix Fitness comes into play, as they have many different types of supplements to help you achieve your fitness goals, such as different types of pre-workouts, both Stim and Stim-free. I use the Stim-free stuff because, guys, I got way too much energy. I don't need any extra stimulants. Also, different types of B-stable recovery compounds to help you absorb muscle or nutrients in your muscles post-workout. Different types of creatine to help you build muscle. Different types of protein to help you build muscle. Whey-based protein, plant-based protein, collagen-based protein. I use their chocolate malt whey flavor because that's what I like, and chocolate malt flavored whey because that's what I like. That's what I go with. Also, different types of multivitamins and anything you might need to achieve your fitness goals, Phoenix Fitness has for you. So our listeners and viewers on YouTube can get 20% using the code CPP20 at fnxfit.com, link description of the podcast. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness, and now time for a feature presentation. Guys, Woe Is Me is back, and we have him on the podcast today. You're not going to miss out on this one. This episode is the shit, literally. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. To say that I'm excited for this episode right now is an understatement because this is absolutely incredible. This band has not released anything new in pretty much like 10 years up until middle of April when the brand new song Ghost came out. They are back. They are playing live shows, and this is something you're not going to want to miss out on because, well, if you listen to Ghost, have you listened to it? You're not going to want to miss out on it. So please welcome Cory and Ben from the band Woe Is Me to the podcast. So gentlemen, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
What's up, Kevin? We're happy to be here, man.
Happy to have you guys on. How has everything been going in your world as of late? As you know, you guys are getting back out on the road, touring once again, playing live shows, and of course, releasing a brand new song in April. How has everything been going in your world as like the past 2 months?
Dude, crazy, man. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're a lot older than we used to be when we did this, man. So it was funny, man. It's been a whirlwind, honestly, since we just decided to even do a couple of shows, and it's just been picking up steam and just man, crazy. That's honestly the best answer I can give you.
Yes, definitely been nuts. And like Cory said, yeah, we're much older. This was it was a lot easier when we were 21, recovering, from long sets and shit and headbanging and running around the stage. So
I still have a hangover from these past 2 shows in Florida. My neck is still sore from 2 shows. And I believe we used to do 2-month tours at a time.
And you guys probably did 4 or 5 shows, 4 or 5, maybe 6 shows in a week on those tours. And now it's after 2, it's just that's what happens. It's you got to get back acclimated to. You got to get used to. You got to get those neck rolls going. Yeah, okay, we're getting this going. We're good.
Yeah, they're gonna catch me in the gym headbanging for 30 minutes trying to get my neck in shape.
No doubt. I'm hit up a chiropractor going on.
Yeah.
I'll say, if whatever is going to get you guys to keep rolling and whatever is going to get you guys to keep playing live shows and keep enjoying what you're doing, because especially for you, yeah, just get one of those get one of those straps, put on the cable machine, just start going like this, You'll get it going. And then Ben, just, have like have like a chiropractor in every city. It's like, okay, I know I've got a network of chiropractors. I'm going to go to this one and this one and this one. So every show I am good and ready to go. So yeah.
Yeah, and if anyone looks at me in the gym doing that, I'll say, hey man, mind your own business. You don't know about me.
Just make sure
you don't want none of this.
I'll say, just make sure you have like some 20-pound weights and just like while you're doing it, like curl up is. Ugh.
Oh, headbanging. Yeah.
I think we're onto something here, boys.
I think we might be onto something. I mean, one of my big things I always like to say is, especially we got a sponsorship from like a supplement company. So I always say, stay mosh pit fit. That might be a part of it. Just start getting the straps on the head. I could basically market something like this to people. Be like, hey, you want to get in good shape for your live shows? Here's what you got to do. And have like the crazy, okay, we got this little head thing for your head bang. And then of course you can do your arms at the same time as well. The lower back workout, because of course, especially if you're at a live show, staying around for a couple hours, yeah, that can put some real tension on there. That is not so much fun.
And here we are thinking, I thought we were going to be talking about woe is me, but actually, boys, I think we're in a business venture at this point. How we can market it to old men trying to play music again, like us.
Plan going on, but it's like, let's start a gym, but it's for people that used to be seen and their band randomly got back together.
There's a market for that. There's a couple of those bands out right now, including us.
There is a market for that. I mean, I'm seeing rumors of Bless the Fall coming back, so I'm just like, you know what? There's another one right there. Shoot, we literally might be onto something. I mean, we might have a Woe Is Me Chord Progression Podcast collaboration on a gym. And then all of a sudden you're getting all the scene kids coming in from that used to go to Warp Tour and used to survive on, a bottle of water and a chicken finger for 12 hours. And are just like, alrighty, how are we going to go to shows? Okay, you're going to get this like little like exoskeleton support for your lower back. You're going to get your own little like hand like gloves so you can have your beer in your hand nice and cold and you're not getting worried about your hand getting too cold, and just be able to go home and
chicken nuggets now.
Yeah, you get 5 chicken nuggets now. And then when you go home from the show and you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like, okay, I'm super stiff now. That was fun, but oh god.
You got to get liquid IV, a bunch of painkillers, definitely a massage gun, Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, these are the things I pack when we go on the road.
I'll say that sounds like a lot of people's like festival packaging. It's like, okay, we got the Pepto-Bismol, we got the painkillers or the ibuprofen. We've got the liquid IV because, of course, after 12 hours in the sun, you're probably going to want something that's a little bit going to hydrate you faster than water. The massage gun because you're going to like walk back after being in the pit and it's just like, that was a little tight. A little tightness up here. Got to relax that because we got to go back for 12 more hours the next day.
I don't know
how we used to do that, man.
Through sheer willpower, guys. Through sheer willpower.
Went to When We Were Young, just one day of it out in Vegas, and I swear to God, it took 5 years off of my life. Like, oh, dude, I'm too old for this.
Dude, how did it take 5 years off your life?
I mean, I'm probably just being dramatic, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I was pretty freaking tired, but I mean, it was worth it. It was a good festival, and of course, people thought it was fake, but it was a good time.
See, I've talked to a couple of people that have gone there and that went there that last year, and they were like, yeah, the first day when everything got canceled because of the high winds, everyone was like freaking out, but they were like, that actually might have been better than the actual shows because you had all these scene kids and everyone that used to be going to Warp Tour just basically taking over Las Vegas, and everyone's walking around wearing, all these black t-shirts with the big giant metalcore monsters on them just for fun. It's like, this is a cool moment right here. And then the next day the show happened, I heard some crazy stories that happened there from other bands that had gone to the show just to enjoy. And it's been like, man, I think I missed out on something there.
Yeah, you could tell who was in town at the festival. It's like, oh yeah, I know why you're here.
I can imagine what, like, the locals thought. They're like, is this a takeover of Las Vegas by a bunch of emos, or what? Like, what are those dadgum emos doing in town here?
Yeah, like, is there a Hot Topic convention going on or something?
We're bringing it back to 2007. MySpace is back, and there's no questioning it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The constant debate of the girlfriend number one or the band number one. The band always won.
The band
Probably
is
why I'm still
always
single.
Well, honestly, but probably maybe smart too. The band being number one. So
Number one.
going back from MySpace to the band itself to Woe Is Me, one of the main things that I've been wondering ever since I found about the return, ever since Ghost came out, is already it's been 10 years since you guys released anything. What got you the inspiration to start this back up again, to come back, to not only go back out on the road, but start releasing new music as well? I want to know the story, guys.
Dude, so I'll start this, Ben, and you can finish it, man. But we kind of, long story short, we got a text from a promoter in Dallas for Monster Mosh, and he was like, "What's the probability of getting Woe Is Me to do an anniversary at this festival?" And I told him, I was like, "Dude, there's no chance in hell." Fast forward 2 days, I get a call from Michael, and he was like, "Hey man, we want to play bass for a Woe Is Me show in Dallas," and I was like, "Oh shit!" So this is actually like a real thing. So we kind of like gathered everyone, and we made a group chat, and that's where it started feeling real, like real. We were all talking in there, and then a couple weeks later, we started rehearsing, and I mean, after 2 practices, dude, we knew we were like, we can't just do one show. Like we're like everyone like fell back in love with each other, and like we fell in love with the music. So we booked a hometown show the weekend after the Monster Mosh. And then, as things kept rolling, we were like, dude, we love this. Let's start writing again, and let's like actually be a band again. And yeah, man. I mean, anything you want to add, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much got a bit of it. Like, wasn't planned at all. A few of us like catch up here and there, like I would FaceTime Michael pretty much every Christmas, and that was about like all we talked. And yeah, just it was all based on a show off. They had a wild idea of trying to get us to do a reunion show. And, we were like, oh, why not? It'll be fun. Maybe we'll just do this and, be done with it. But like Cory said, it was like the second we started playing together again, it's like no time had ever passed. We picked up right where we left. We had all the same inside jokes. We had all the same, like I guess we kind of like have a good, just like the way we vibe with each other is, it was like perfect for a band. So like the second, like we saw that again, it was like, well, what the hell are we doing? Why do it half-assed?
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I mean, like I guess like a little bit more recent, the past couple months, yeah, we've just been riding like crazy. We've been accepting a lot more shows this year. Next year is gonna be even bigger and better for us. But yeah, man, just kind of honestly, it was not planned at all. We weren't like planning it for a year, like, hey, let's do an anniversary and like blow everyone's minds. Like, no, it was just, I mean, just by fate or whatever. We all ended up back together.
Call it fate or call it sheer dumb luck, but thank you the guys from Monster Mosh for just coming up with the idea of, hey, can we get a Woe Is Me reunion at this show? And just because of that, I mean, take a look at everything that has happened. It's you guys got to play a show together once again. Okay, let's see what happens here. And just the fire got brought back into you for this. The passion got brought back into all of you for this. So you go do another show. Then you start, hey, we don't want to just let this go. Let's start right. And as the wheels start to continue start to move forward, it's something where you're just starting to really bring back all of that positivity you all got from Woe Is Me once again, and are seeing maybe in a different perspective from when you left off with certain things. Because, of course, as time has passed, I think what they said, no matter what it is, I don't know what happened with, everything in between there, because Ben, like you said, you'd call Michael every Christmas, but that was about it. But then all of a sudden now, boom, things happen. You guys maybe, time being apart, maybe made the heart grow fonder. Maybe it just made you guys realize how special it was to be in Woe Is Me. And then with that first show, it's just like, okay, the spark is relit once again. The happiness behind all this is there once again. And wanting to continue to go forward with this and see what could possibly be is now there once again. So again, it's something that's absolutely incredible because you guys are back, and it all happened with just a sheer dumb luck chance of one promoter just trying to get you guys to play a reunion show.
Yeah, man. Like you said, dude, whatever it is, like it's awesome to be back because, we're all a lot older now. We're a lot smarter. We're just older, man. We hold our thoughts, we hold our tongue, rather. So it's just, we keep joking about it. We're like, maybe this is meant to happen. Because, 10 years ago when, we didn't, we kind of all formed from local bands and we just made like a band in the area and we were like, hopefully this does well. And then just kind of blew up. And we were like, we're just young, dumb kids that were like playing Warped Tour and like just blowing up. So we were stupid, man. It's like, you give any kid that's in early 20s they're going to be stupid eventually. So, we're like, maybe it all happened for a reason to all get back together and learn those life lessons in our 20s and, potentially make the best Woe Is Me there's ever been and, focus on the longevity of the band so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Cory said, it's kind of nuts. Like we were, that our brains weren't even fully developed and we were going on, say, Warped Tour and we were like, oh yeah, we brought in a few $100,000. What do we do? Like,
and you know the answer to that.
Be irresponsible. That's what we did. So,
hey, if you're like 20, 21 years old, and all of a sudden you like, hey, we made a couple of $100,000. What should we do with this money? I mean, someone's somewhere down the line, especially at that age, is gonna say, what we should do? We should go and buy as much beer from a beer warehouse as possible and have the biggest party ever. At times it's like, oh man, we want to be cool one up, but then you got to learn those life lessons as you go on. And being so young and just kind of having this whole entire thing just really hit and just being on tour consistently, maybe some of those growing pains may have ended up being the thing that you need to do to step away from it all, really become more fully formed in who you all are as people, as human beings, and then realize maybe, hey, especially with this one show and then how it picked up and what you guys are doing right now, maybe you guys had something that was absolutely incredible with What Was Me, which is showing that is what you guys have right now. And you just needed to go through some of those growing pains and life lessons. Unfortunately, meant a 10-year gap. But by going through that, who knows? I mean, you take a listen to Ghost, and I'm like, this is one of the best tracks I've heard all year. So who knows what else you guys might have coming up your sleeve? Who knows what might else be there? But it seems like that time off even just really... Well, even like Ben said, when you guys were out in Warped Tour, it's like your brains weren't even fully formed yet.
No.
I mean, maybe sometimes, partying and having a blast and doing stupid stuff like car skiing might have been the better idea. Now you're like, maybe that's not the best idea, but listen to this kick-ass song that we just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm a firm believer in, everything kind of happens for a reason, and at the time, like, there was a lot of mixed feelings with the band, for me personally. But yeah, man, like you said, we kind of, took those life lessons and learned, and obviously you're still learning throughout your entire life. But we're a lot different now than we were 10 years ago. We're riding dirt bikes and doing stupid shit with the boys all the time. And you mentioned like the beer warehouse with get as much beer and throw a party. When you said that, I was like, dude, that was every free weekend at the old band house. We did that all. I mean, we could have been sponsored by like freaking Miller High Life for like Busch Light back in the day.
Dude, we drank a bunch of Everclear back then. It's freaking disgusting to think about that, man. God.
I'll say now you're just saying that, and I'm thinking, my God, that sounds like some of the weekends I had when I was up in college where it was just, all right, we're just going to go nuts. We're going to have fun. Whatever the fuck happens. And if you guys would have been sponsored by Miller Lite, I mean, I'm literally maybe 2.5 miles away from where the beer is actually brewed. So I could have been like, okay, I'm coming down to the south. I'm coming with it, and just start bringing out a whole bunch of beer. It's like, what is this? This is what Miller is sponsoring What Was Me with back in 2011, 2012, and you guys probably would have loved it every step of the way. Now, if I brought it down, it probably you guys might still love it, but that's going to be consumed at a little bit more of a moderate pace.
Yeah.
Oh, it would take us about a year to.
I'll have 3. Go to bed at 10 p.m.
10 p.m. I wish. We're like 9:15 p.m.
Yeah.
Unless it's a day where you got a show, then it's play the show and then half hour later, done. Taking a nap going to sleep. maybe putting on a little audiobook to fall asleep to, just enjoying, relaxing, having a good time.
Dude, speaking of that, so we got our set. We were headlining in Florida. We played Orlando and Tampa. And, 3 or 4 days prior, we got the set times from the promoter. And in our heads, we're like, we might play like 9:15. We had 10:30 set times, both those shows. And we all go to bed like before 10 o'clock because we all work early mornings at home. And we all saw the set times. We're like, how are we going to make it? So I haven't had an energy drink in quite a while. But I must have killed like 4 energy drinks a day trying to stay awake till 10:30 to play. And then I got on stage. I was like, what is this? This isn't my pillow. I was like, this is a bass guitar. I was like, I don't know what to do with this at 10:30 at night. Awful, man. We had fun, don't get me wrong, but we were like, dude, this is way too late to be playing a show.
That was rough. I mean, I wake up at like 4:30 for work. I'm laying down at 8:30 most of the time. So yeah, that messed with me big time.
See, I kind of get that too, because I'm always going as much as possible. I'm usually waking up at 5:30 to go to work, but then there's days where it's like, okay, I'm doing podcast stuff, or I'm going to concerts in Chicago on a weeknight. Like, I'm waking up at 4:30, doing all my stuff in the morning, going to work, going down these shows, and then right now I'm just like, I can do this, I got this. But I know there's going to come a point in time where I'm just going to be looking like, wait, how the hell did I pull this off? Kind of like what you guys went through. But at the same time, I like 10:30 start time for a set time. I like, even for myself, I'm like, dang, that does sound kind of late. I'm used to shows being over. It's like once at 11 p.m. mark hits, it's like, okay, show's got to be done. Maybe can go on for an extra 10 minutes, but at that point, show's got to be done. And you guys will probably be out of that venue by like 11:30, like passed out, like we are good to go. And then, Cory, instead of having you to sleep on your bass guitar, it's like you actually get a real pillow to sleep on.
Oh, yeah. No, I turned into a pumpkin after 11 o'clock, so I was watching the time very closely. I was like, they don't want to see me on the stage being a pumpkin. I was like, we can't have that.
Sit down.
Yeah, we didn't get back to there.
I'll say you guys might just have to, but as time goes on too, you guys never know what's going to happen. Of course, more shows might be coming up. You guys might go on tour once again, and you might be playing those times later in the day as well, or later in the night. So your body might have to start getting used to that at some point. You guys maybe start to have to deal with that eventually. So unfortunately, Cory, you might have to learn how to not become a pumpkin at 11 o'clock at night anymore.
All right. So what you're telling me is to stay up really late tonight and
tomorrow
mess up my morning.
No,
okay,
no,
so what
no,
we're
no.
gonna do, guys?
No, ruin your
Kevin. So
no, what I'm telling you is if you gotta wake up in the
work,
I'll say if you gotta wake up in the morning, if you gotta wake up in the morning and be at work, be at work. But on those days you got a show, maybe it's just like find that time to get some sort of nap in between, so you just get that little random burst energy. You're like, okay, I'm good to go. Got an extra hour in me. This might work.
that late out.
I'm running with this. And I'm gonna run with this. I'm gonna stay up all night long, and when I neglect responsibility, somehow I'll be like, Kevin told me to do it. He told me to stay up all night long.
If you do that, I feel like your boss is gonna call me and be like, "Hey man, why did you tell Cory to stay up all night long?" And I'm just gonna respond with, "Dude, I did the same thing. I haven't slept in 3 days."
I'm gonna do something awful at work and blame it on you.
Yeah.
If you do that, I don't know if I'd be like kind of like irritated at that, or if also proud of that at the same point in time too. It's like, man, I messed him up and I made him like late for work, but wait a minute, they're blaming me for being late to work because of an idea that we brought up on a podcast the night beforehand. You know what? Kind of feeling that a little bit.
So actually, I'm collecting addresses just for personal reasons. So whenever we get off of this, if you want to send me your address, just for no reason, just for me, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, so then in a couple of days, I'm going to end up coming home. There's going to be a package with my name on it, and I'm going to open it up and be like, oh, what is this? And a whole big bunch of glitter is going to come exploding out of it, and I'm just going to be looking at this with my hands like this, looking up and just looking out the window and yelling, Cory!
I thought you might be going like the route where like, you can send someone animal shit.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to, like a big old box of shit. I was like, here we go.
Got a bunch of bears showing up at your place.
The flaming bag of dog poop, and you gotta stomp it out. Oh, yeah.
That one.
And then I'm going to go all
It happened to you
Billy
before, Ben.
Madison, just stomping it out. There's poop in it. He called this shit poop. Just have some.
Like Billy Madison.
Yeah, but honestly, I'll put it this way: if someone was actually going to send me shit, like animal shit, in a box, I would probably open up and either assume it's my brother or my best friend sending me it. So, I mean, you probably have to send even more of it for me to get in. Like, oh wait, it's Cory that's sending me this stuff. Why did I think it was my brother? Huh? Oh well.
Max my credit on animal shit, so it's like a lot.
It's a whole pallet of animal shit.
Entire pallet, like they bring the pallet jack right up to your front door, and then
I want an 18-wheeler that wheels it up, backs it up to your door, and just drops it like a dump truck.
Love that.
Oh my god, that would be that's a real stinky job, I gotta say. I mean, trying to clean that all up is gonna stink. It's gonna really stink. But
it'll be a good story though.
It'll be a good story, but it'll be a good story. The time I made the guys from Woe Was Me late to their full-time job, so they sent me an 18-wheeler full of shit.
I couldn't think of a better story. We'll max out the band credit card on shit, as well as all of our personal cards.
Oh,
so we'll get about $5 of shit. The band has a $3 credit limit. Me and Ben both have $1 credit card limit. So,
and the other guys are completely off the grid at this point. They're just not. You can't find them.
No, they don't. They probably won't condone
credit scores.
Or maybe they're in full like doomsday prepper mode. You never know. They got the freeze dried meals. They're bunkers. They're ready to go for anything.
Well, that's Kevin. I feel like
in a basement somewhere.
They might be just already like prepping for this stuff. I mean, they might be ready for, what I might have to make one like a basement, bunker myself before the poop-pocalypse comes over my way.
Poop-pocalypse.
Amazing.
I mean, that's going to happen. All of a sudden, I'll open up another reaction video. It's like, yeah, we got the new Woe Was Me song, and I feel like this one's going to really stink. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wait, no, that's just what they sent me.
No, that's just all the shit.
It's like, what do we call that? We call that, for some reason, we call that a good time. I don't know why, but I mean, I might piss off my neighbors. Actually, you know what? That'd actually be kind of funny. So I'm not mad about it then.
Hey man, we can send them shit too if you want.
Oh, I'll give you all their addresses too. All I have to do is look out the window. I'll look at the house numbers, and I'll just start reciting to you when we're done with this card. Be like, okay, we got 1960, we got 1970, then we got 1975, 1977. We're good.
We'll put them all on the shit list.
Awesome.
I'll say the new piece of merch from Woe Was Me, a signed shit list. It's the list of everyone they're sending shit to. It's all listed out there, signed by the band. You can have your own copy of it.
Oh god, it's like a tour date T-shirt, but instead of dates on the back of like, oh yeah, on May 6th, we played Atlanta. It's like, just different addresses, like,
On May 2nd, we sent shit to this house. On May 3rd, we sent shit to this house. On May 4th, we had an off day. But May 5th, we sent shit to Kevin's house right here.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. And then we'll open the online shit store. So you can we don't have to send it to you. You can just order the shit and just kind of get ahead of the situation. You're like, well, they're going to send it to me anyway. So I might as well just order it and just.
Okay. Yeah, so already in a half hour, we've already thought of 2 potential business ventures. We've thought of the gym for bands returning from the scene and all the scene kids that used to go to Warped Tour but are now, in their late 20s and 30s that are just not able to go to concerts like they used to, and the shit delivery service from Woe Was Me that's going to basically send shit to my house and just make my place stink forever.
It's Uber Eats for shit. I mean, great business plan. I see investors lining up at our doors right now.
I mean, I think like us collectively, we're like the Steve Jobs of shit.
Steve Jobs.
Hey,
well, this conversation went south real quick.
Oh, it did. Yeah. I'll say, if you guys want to go on Shark Tank with this, we can pitch it to Mark Cuban and he might go for it.
Oh, dude, he'll be down.
He's always down for some cool shit. What can you say?
He's so funny too. I hope he's not like a person. I don't know. And then I get yelled at.
Who knows anymore? All I know is if I go up and we present that idea and he calls me a con artist, I'll be like, hey. These guys are in a great band. I'm just some random guy, so okay, I'll take it. I'm gonna be known as the con artist guy, the con artist shit guy from Shark Tank from now on. All right, that's it for me in life, guys. I'm good.
Yeah, then you become
your podcast will blow up.
Yeah, and then I have bands on, and all we do is talk about their music, and we talk about shit. Perfect.
I think,
dude, it's a win-win situation.
I don't see it going any other way, but enough with the shit, enough with all this crap. So one thing I'm curious about is, okay, that first show you guys came back, that first show in Dallas. Of course, I've talked to other bands that have, not necessarily come back, but after the pandemic, after that like time break in between where you couldn't go on stage for like a year and a half, that first show, what was it like? Now, this is your first show in like 10 years. What was it like getting prepared for that first show and then going up on stage for the first time in 10 years as a collective whole once again?
Man, I know I was actually, when we played in Dallas, I was nervous walking on stage. It had just been so long, and, it's kind of wild to think that the last tour I did, we were walking out in front of like, I don't know, tops like 3,000 people, and I didn't think twice about it. I was just like, oh, whatever. It's just Friday night, But yeah, I know I was a little nervous, and it was tough learning how to play again. Because it's been a long time. I sold all my stuff. So yeah, it was a trip, man.
Yeah, man. Like I know for me personally, dude, when we got the set list like established, I had to go back and learn these songs. Like I kept my bass guitars, but I kept them as decoration on my wall. And so I would play them like once a year. But so like when I got the set list, I was going on YouTube looking at covers of "Woe Is Me" to figure out how to play my own bass parts, and that was wild. I was learning my bass parts from like a 13-year-old kid, and I was like, this is awful. But I mean, for personally, the day of the show, dude, it was so emotional, man. Like it really was. Like all of us, I don't know if you can tell in any of the videos if you watch them live, like all of us were tearing up walking on stage, man. Like it was just, we all just have so much blood and sweat and time and "Woe Is Me" in the past, and just to have the opportunity to do it again, and just to see that crowd, sitting there waiting for us. We had no idea that many people still loved like "Woe Is Me" and wanted "Woe Is Me," and like, man, it's just when everything just kind of washes over you before you walk on stage and you see all that, like just everything kind of overwhelms you, dude. And like we were all ran on stage with tears in our eyes, so it was amazing, man.
I mean, when you're running on stage with tears in your eyes, and it's tears of happiness and joy, being together once again and playing live once again, that's when you truly have something special in your life with "Woe Is Me," with the band, and with the connections you've made, not only with each other, but with the fans as well. Seeing everyone out there once again, ready to go and like hang out with you, have a blast, enjoy your music, and just get lost in the moment with it. Because Ben, like you said, you guys had been going out in front of like, 3,000 people and thinking, just another Friday night, but now being able to do that once again after all that time had passed, I can I can put it this way, I can't comprehend what that kind of emotion is like because I've never come close to anything like that, but I can understand the fact that it just takes so much of you worked on something for so long, and then all right, now it's kind of like you moved on from it, and now you're trying to come back once again, just trying to see what might happen, give it another shot, maybe just for one time. And just the emotion of seeing how people are still so connected to it and how you're so positively connected to it, like it never left in the first place. It makes so much sense. You guys are going out there and just like the tears starting to flow from your eyes because the emotion is all there and it's all present. And I bet everyone in the crowd that saw that felt that and probably felt the exact same way. It's like these guys are back here once again. We get to see this. We get to experience with them once again. How cool is this?
Yeah,
man, exactly.
Yeah, and I guess to add something to like kind of what was just said is like I know for me playing these shows, in addition to playing keyboard, I do write some screaming vocals, And it was really weird to scream things that I wrote, when I was like 20 or 21, when like my life was not great. Like some of those songs are pretty angsty, and it's just like kind of weird to like get a little like glimpse into that. And like I'm 34 now and things are going really well. Like I have like a great girlfriend, like I'm killing it at work. So it's like Cory said, it's like always emotional performing those songs. Cause like in that time I was kind of like, fuck, my life is never gonna be normal. It sucks, whatever. So it's like it's pretty heavy, to play those songs.
But at the same time, when you perform those songs, it's kind of like, especially when, if you're listening to music and say you listen to music at a certain point in time that really hits you emotionally, say you listen to music at a certain point in time that really reminds you, or like you were going through something a lot and maybe it wasn't for the best. And now that you're in a completely different position, like you said, you are, compared to when you wrote those, really angsty, really angry. And now you're in a place where you are happy, where you are just absolutely crushing it in life. And that angst is not there. But when you perform that stuff again, it's kind of like a time travel back to that. And you are sort of feeling all those emotions once again, because music is like that timestamp. It's like that thing that we can time travel our emotions back to. But at the same time, you might be feeling a sense of positivity around it because you see where your life was and where your life is now, and are feeling like, man, look at where I thought life was at that point, and look at what has become of it. So maybe when you're singing, it gets emotional, but maybe it's all because of the positive between where you were compared to where you are now, and you being able to see where you were and how much it took for you to get to where you are now, and just that journey from going from where you were to just the happiness at this point in time.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Well said, man.
So at the end of that one, I was like, okay, kind of take a little bit of a breath in that one, because now I'm starting to think about the music that I listened to that made me think about that. But after that show, of course, now you're going to go play a hometown show and you're playing more shows now. Do you still get a certain feeling like that first one, or is it somewhere, you're going out playing these shows once again, you're playing some more shows, and you're still kind of getting that feeling of, this is awesome, this is great, and you're still feeling a little bit of that emotional connection because, you're going out and playing this once again, and you're still seeing people come out to support the band even after all this time?
So, I mean, it's becoming like more autonomous there now for me. Like don't get me wrong. It's still like walking on stage with like a crowd that's like been waiting there for like 30 minutes, like, or whatever the times we're prepping. Like, it still like blows my mind, that especially like I said, these past shows in Florida, playing so late, we were worried about like no one's going to stay. It's going to be like 10 kids, and, it's like almost the entire crowd stayed, and, it just kind of blew my mind, but, they were all there, but it's starting to come back, man. Like after a couple shows, after we've been doing this now for a couple months, and like, we're kind of starting to fall into stride. I'm still very appreciative of everything, but starting to feel pretty good again.
Yeah, for sure. It feels a little more normal, but like, like Cory said, it's like, it still feels special, like to do it. And it's so flattering to see people come out after such a long time and to be reminded, like, I know I've said it in the band chat multiple times. I'm like, I can't believe like we meant so much to people,
Yeah, for sure, man.
Nuts.
Well, when you write music that really resonates with the thought process and with whatever theme or whatever emotion you're feeling with, and you put it out there, and it allows you to connect with so many other people on such an incredibly impactful way, that even when you're gone for a certain period of time and when you come back, those people are still going to be there because your music meant so much to them at a certain point in time, whether it was during the happiest point in their life, maybe it was during the saddest moment, maybe it was during the most formative moment, whatever it might be. But that's why those people are still continuing to come out to Woe Is Me shows, especially after 10 years, still coming out, still ready to go, and still, even at those 10:30 start times where everyone is saying, because they want to experience that in person once again, because they did not have the chance for so long, and now they're going to get it. We're not going to let something like that go. We're not going to forget about that. And I do understand what you're saying too, where it's still that special connection is always there. You're still feeling it. But when it comes to like the maybe jitters or nerves, those are starting to go away because there's a comfortability around being up on stage again, doing this once again. But the fact that you said you're still not lost on what it all means to see so many people still out there supporting Woe Is Me, being at those live shows and going as crazy as possible in that setting, it just makes so much sense to just think about that, where you guys are getting the comfort of that once again to continue to go out and play, but you're still remembering how special this is every time you go out and play, because you guys were without it for so long, and who knows how long you're going to have it, because anything can happen at a given moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you guys continue to do this for a long time and continue to, find that positivity and continue to love it every step of the way. But life always changes at some point in time. You never know when that's going to be. So I hope you guys continue to feel that and enjoy that for as long as possible.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, man. Like, you hit the nail right on the head with that, man. Like, tomorrow's never promised with, just with everything, so, I'm trying to do my very best, in Florida, man, like that's a whole story for another day, but none of us got any sleep. We did like a photo shoot the night before, and we slept like 2 hours and met for van call. And it's like, I was really tired and really cranky just naturally because I'm an old man now, but that was 2 hours of sleep. I was like, this sucks. I was like, I don't want to do this. And like, yeah, it's like you kind of have to, take a step back, remind yourself like, hey, you know what? Like, this is a blessing in itself, just having the opportunity to do this again. So, kind of got to reframe the mind, and say, hey, like, that the situation might not be the best right now, but dude, we're doing what we love, and we're doing it for people that, that love us and love the music. So,
yeah. And, being grateful is a conscious decision,
Mm-hmm.
You're on 4 hours of sleep. Sure, there are people who would kill to have played those shows in Florida, so it's like definitely not lost on us.
Yeah, and even like I can relate to that too with the podcast. There's times where I get those episodes where I'm like, oh, okay, leading up to it, I'm tired, I'm cranky, I've been going like crazy for the past 10 straight days. It's like, okay, I'm tired, I don't really want to do this mentally, but I know that it's an opportunity to do something fantastic, do something I love, and whenever I see that little icon pop up in the corner of Zoom that says this person ready to come in, my energy is going to skyrocket, and it's going to be this blast of positivity going forward. So I do feel that, and I understand where you're coming from with that, even with that little bit of sleep, and still continuing to love this every step of the way, still continuing to have fun with it, and being able to play all together once again and just be that band once again, have that brotherhood of band once again. I mean, that's something that just hopefully that positivity continues to take you even further and continues to take the band even further. Of course, with the release of Ghost, which I looked at it and I thought if there's a song to come back to after a potential like a 10-year hiatus, that is the one to absolutely do it with. And with that one released, all I could think about is if this was the first one that came out, what's coming next? And it got me even more excited.
Dude, yeah, just wait, man. We got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, man. And we, it's like we're all over the place, man. We like writing to what I don't know, to everything, man. We like our heavy stuff. We like our more melodic stuff. We like our man. Just wait. We got some good stuff for you.
Yeah, next one's heavy. So
yep, real heavy.
Next one's real heavy. Okay, so that's already gotten me thinking two things. One, because I love the stuff that's going to go heavy, so this is going to be something I'm even more excited about. And two, if I'm getting into the whole entire reaction game, if I did the first Woe Was Me single, hell, we're going to do the second one then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know you'll and I'll probably end up falling. If it's heavy and then something gets me going, I might fall out of this chair. You might see me fall out of the screen. It's like, whoa, what happened? No, he is literally having a great time right now. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get that feeling of moshing to this at the same time, but all he can use right now is the floor and the wall. And that might not be the best idea because I'll probably put a hole in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Just make sure the shit's not on the floor that we've already shipped to you. You got to clean it up before you listen to the new song.
Oh, don't worry. It'll smell like a can of Febreze just went off in here when I react to that one. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. But now I'm like even more excited about that. And I know you guys said too, you guys are working on more shows once again as well. So what else we got coming in the pipeline later this year when it comes to shows? Of course, if you guys can announce certain things, I don't want to have them announced. Would I like a potential tease like, hey, we got something going on? Of course, but I don't want you to give away anything you can't give away.
I mean, we got the big festivals, they're already announced, like Incarceration and Blue Ridge. Like, we're all so excited to play those. Those are gonna be the biggest festivals Woe Is Me's ever played. Then we have like some one-offs and stuff. They're all announced. We got like Knoxville, of course. We have New Jersey, New York, and we've got some offers from some other shows later in the year. And we're kind of just panning them over and seeing what we got. But let's say they're more northern too. And yeah, I know. Yeah, I figured we'd get that face out of you.
Oh yeah, you were.
but yeah, man, we're kind of. This year we weren't anticipating to tour or anything. We all of us have jobs, and a couple of us have businesses, and it's just it's difficult to tour like we used to. So for us to be out on the weekend, it has to make fiscal sense. Because with the band, there's 7 people in the band, and we have 3 crews, so 10 flights is not cheap at all, and rental gear. So it's like we want to come. We want to go all over. We have a lot of requests for the West Coast right now, but yeah, man, you'll definitely see some stuff though. We're all ready to play some shows again. So
I'll say that makes me excited here just because I knew you guys were playing Blues. I knew you guys were playing Incarceration. And of course, when I look at the festivals you guys are playing, I'm like, and of course, those are 2 that I'm not going to this year because I wanted to go see Woe Is Me perform. But now when you just said, you got some stuff coming up in the northern part of the country, I'm just like, oh boy, because of course everyone knows I'm here living here in good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But if there's a show that I want to go to at any time during the week, I don't care if it's a weekend, weekday, if it's anywhere between 2 hours drive time one way for me, I'm gonna go to it. If I want to go to it, I'm gonna go to it. So if you guys end up showing up in Chicago on a weekday, you can bet your ass I'm gonna be right in the middle of that pit, just having a blast every step of the way.
And that's what I was gonna say, man. Dude, Ben, you can tell us how much we love Chicago.
Dude, Chicago is such a good market. I looked forward to it every single tour. Like, it felt like a second home. So,
well, just
play Bottom Lounge, right?
Bottom Lounge, yep.
Oh, if you guys end up going back to Bottom Lounge, it's gonna be somewhere and be like, they're playing Bottom Lounge. Yes, all right, I'm there.
That was a good one. I always looked forward to Bottom Lounge. Pretty much always Texas and California, Yeah. I know we played it in Milwaukee, I think just one time, but hell, we could try that.
We were parked against a snowbank, and the driver opened the door, and it's like you walked right into a snowbank. That's one thing I remember about Milwaukee. That was miserable. There's so much snow. I hate the snow. We're from Georgia, and me and Ben were from California originally, so we don't do well in snow.
Yeah. What? No, I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want the rain, unless the snow.
I'll say, thinking about when you guys would have happened, when you guys would step off a bus and the driver just basically jumped right into a snowbank right from there. I can pretty much almost think about exactly when that would have been around. So I'm just like, okay, that is actually kind of funny for me at least because I don't mind the snow for myself, but. Man, you guys down there, you're used to the heat. You guys can deal with that heat and humidity. Last year, Welcome to Rockville, almost passed out from the heat a couple of times because it was just like I couldn't deal with it. But then again, like right now, we're shooting this, it's like 50 degrees up here. And it's, middle of May that we're recording this. So, yeah, I'm pale, I'm white, I deal with the cold, but the heat, I'm just like, I'm melting.
Can you imagine travel your driveway just to go to work? I would rather die.
Yep. That sounds awful to me. It's like you got to do work to get to work and then get home and do more work before work the next day.
Yeah. It's like, no, I give up.
Good. Yep.
I'll say
be homeless at that point.
I'll say that's a common occurrence here, so I'm pretty sure you guys are much happier in Georgia than you would be living up here in Wisconsin.
You got to deal with other things here, like pit stains all the time. It's like you just always look gross, but you're like, you know what? You accept it at a certain point.
I would just lay in the snow until my heart stopped.
That's like golden retriever.
Let the snow rain over you and just bury you.
Ben, that is golden retriever energy right there. Well, hey, you guys don't you don't have to live up here, but as long as you come up here for a visit, play some shows, kick some ass, and we are able to mosh with you guys, that's all that matters to me.
Hell yeah.
Dude, for sure. When we do, you got to come out, man.
Oh, you better believe I'm going to come out. So I know you guys get going, so as we bring this podcast to its conclusion, one thing I would like to do is give my guests, which is both of you in this instance, a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug where you want to plug, promote what you want to promote at the end of the episode. So, Cory, Ben, floor is yours.
What, Ben?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I was like, you go first.
Plugging anything? Is that what you said?
Yep.
You said love on who you want to love. Plug. What did you say again?
I said...
We're old, remember? We listen. We listen poorly.
Say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, promote whatever you want to promote.
Shoot, I guess. Yeah, if any of these shows or festivals are near you, come out, hang out. We're real friendly. We hang out at the merch table, take pictures, all that. So we just we want to see people again. You know, we've missed this. So that's really all I have to plug.
Yeah, man. And I'll kind of piggyback on Ben. Yeah, like we try to go to the merch table as much as possible. We love meeting people and, just, come out to a show and thank you from like the bottom of our heart. I speak on behalf of the rest of the band. Like, thank you from the bottom of our heart to, for still listening to Woe Is Me and giving us a chance to even be a band again and, listen to Ghost and, just seeing where the direction the band's going to go and, being on board with it because, we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. We want to keep going. And then I do got to throw a couple plugs. One, merch store, WIMATL.com. Pick up a shirt. And also got to plug Elusive Eyewear. They just sponsored us for sunglasses and all that stuff. They have some awesome stuff. And yep, that's all I got, man.
All right, perfect. Now it's time for me to close this podcast with three things. First things first. They just plugged what they wanted to plug. They promote whatever they want to promote, but I'm going to go it even further. So you're going to want to follow along on their socials. So when more shows come out, when more new music comes out, and to make sure you're in line with everything else that's happening with the band. Also going to want to watch any potential videos that might be coming out. Get a shirt at their website. Where, that eyewear company they just mentioned was Elusive Eyewear, correct?
Elusive Eyewear, yeah.
Elusive Eyewear.
ELUSIV.
You're going to want to check that out as well. So where's the best place to go and do that? Go to the description of the podcast where it says Find Woe Is Me online. There's going to be links and labels for everything. So all you have to do is click your favorite one, go and follow them online, go and buy a shirt, go and get some sunglasses, go and listen to their music, everything around there, buy some tickets. Everything is going to be there, all good to go. Now it is time for number 2. Whenever I have guests on the podcast, I enjoy having the podcast. I tend to make a certain promise as a way to say thank you for being on the podcast. And I would like to continue to support the band any way I can. And my favorite thing to do is go to live shows and do this stuff. So you guys hit on this promise, and I may end up editing it a little bit, though, because my promise to you is this. It is not an if. It is a when I get to see you guys perform live for the first time. I'm going to do my best Liam Neeson Taken impersonation where I will look for you, I will find you, and I will come and say, first round's on me.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
But my edit
I love that, man.
But my edit might be if it's in Wisconsin, all of a sudden I might find you guys and might say, hey, instead of just one round, I end up getting you guys a whole case of beer. It's sitting in my car. I'll bring it out to you guys. If that works, then we can do that too.
It better be Miller High Life for the old days. I'm kidding. Absolutely, man. As long as you have one with us, dude.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That I would absolutely love to do that with you guys. So as we bring this podcast to its full conclusion, I cannot say goodbye in all good conscience because this was a lot of fun. I'm going to continue to support the band. I would love to have you guys back on the podcast once again, and I made a promise to you, and I do not want to break that promise. So goodbye, way too final. I'm going to end it by saying, I'll see you later.
Next time, man.
Well, folks, that's my interview with Cory and Ben from the band Woe Is Me. And now it's time for Kevin's final thoughts. So the thing that stands out to me about the most is, how these guys came back and that first show they played back. You think about this. They were away for over 10 years, about 10 years. And they just went on with their lives and they created something for themselves. They all have businesses. They have full-time jobs. They're just doing things. They might have families. They might have loved ones that they're taking care of. But then a simple chance of someone saying, hey, would you like to do a reunion show? And they're like, no, I'm not sure, man. Maybe not for me. Nah. And all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens. They decided to give it a shot, and just the positivity that they got from it after being away for 10 years from it, the positivity of being together once again, the positivity of playing shows again, and just the connection they made with the fans, the positive they get from seeing the fans always come out there and still support them. It is something that's absolutely incredible to see. It's absolutely incredible to be a part of, just notice. And overall, when I think about it, could you really want anything more than that? I mean, you're playing music with your best friends. You got back together after so long, and now you're making new music. You got that spark rekindled. And this just speaks to the fact of, in life, different things are going to happen. Things aren't going to always work out. But if you truly have something in your heart and you love something, maybe it's just not the right time. But feel free to always potentially explore that opportunity maybe a little bit later on in life. Maybe all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know what? 5 years ago, I wanted to try this, but it didn't work out. But maybe I still have the passion for it. Maybe I still want to give it a shot, give it another go. It might absolutely work out. So essentially, it's don't give up even if you have to take a little bit of a break. And seeing where the guys from What Was Me are, I mean, God, they seem so happy to be back right now, and it's absolutely incredible to see. So I'm absolutely happy that they're back. I hope you are too, and you're going to want to make sure that you're not missing out on anything with What Was Me. So go to the description of the podcast where it says Find What Was Me online. You're going to see links for all their socials, links for YouTube, links where you can go and support them online, buy some shirt, buy some sunglasses, go and stream their music because there's more new music coming out. I can tell you that right now. Do not miss out on that link description of the podcast. Also, make sure you're following along with us on the Chord Progression Podcast. We're on Facebook and Instagram primarily, so you can get all your content there, like the short stuff, all the crazy posts, and connect with us online there because that's where we are primarily. And if you post anything on there or you message anything, you get a response. It's going to be directly from me. Also, make sure you hit subscribe if you're on YouTube and hit like on the video as well to support this podcast. I want to thank you for doing that. And if you're already subscribed, I want to thank you for doing that as well. Also, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Amazon, I want to thank you for hitting that follow button or subscribe button and, just supporting us there. I really do appreciate it. Also, I want to thank Phoenix Fitness for supporting this podcast. 20% off, code CP20FX.com. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness. Link description of the podcast. Thank you guys from What Was Me. I will definitely be seeing you guys play live in 2023. I know you said later in the year you got some dates that are looking a little bit more up north from where you are. I'm up north from where you are. You guys are going to be in Chicago. You're going to see me there in the pit and with a couple cases of beer afterwards for you guys. So on that note, thank you. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one. So big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah.